Quit Your Damn Job with McCall Taylor.
I had done a vision board. It's like, I want that.
Yeah.
And I thought, how am I going to do it? I need to just do it.
Yeah.
I just asked people to do it. And then it happened.
What is it that you do?
I'm a professional organizer.
Okay.
And my team and I go into people's homes when they have clutter and need help getting organized. We just organize and create peaceful, beautiful surroundings. We turn chaos into tranquility.
I love that. You know, I actually found your Instagram, and that's where this all started, is that I don't even know how it came up. I think it just came up on my Explore page one day, and I was like, whoa, I love this. And I was like, whoa, she's like in Utah. And so then I ended up following along with it. How did you find, like, your passion for organization?
I have just always loved to organize, even as a little girl. And
Uh-huh.
I've told this story before, but I remember cleaning up my room and I just had all this miscellaneous little toys and pieces and they were in this little brown canister that my mom, just had it set on the counter. And I remember asking my mom, "Oh, what do we do with this?" She goes, "Oh, just leave it there for now." And I remember it hurting my stomach.
Really?
And because of the house, I know I was really young, but it bothered me not having those little pieces in a home.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just something that some people say that you can be taught, and
Yeah.
I'm sure you can, but then there's people who really have a gift for it.
Absolutely.
And they just see things and they just know where to put them to make things better.
Yeah.
And that's what the people on my team are that way as well. And so people ask us all the time, "Oh, isn't it overwhelming for you?" It's like, no, the bigger the mess, the bigger the high. I get so excited when I see a big mess because I know I'm going to be able to make it better.
That's amazing. You know, being able to have that art and being able to have that touch and that gift is incredible. You know, and it's incredible that you were able to notice that at a very young age. Right. So what were you doing before, and what was like your pivotal moment where you were like, okay, I'm just gonna do this. This is what I'm gonna do as a business.
Okay, well, there's two parts to
Okay,
that.
great. I love it.
So when my kids got older and were starting to leave the home and I needed to look for work, we needed to save for college now.
Right.
I have 5 kids. So I got a job at the school district. And I had a friend of mine who said, "Why are you working there?" It's like, well, I don't know where else to work. I haven't worked for 20 years.
Right.
I don't know what to do. And she says, "Why don't you do what you do for me?" Because when we'd go to her house and I'd visit, I'd always like to organize for her and help her with that. And we were friends, and I did it ever since I was a little girl. So she knew it's something I always liked, even as a little girl.
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, let's clean your room." You know, what kids do that? But it's like,
I love that so much,
It'll be fun, Anyways, so I says, "Well, I can't do that for work." And she says, "Oh, sure you can. I'll get my friends. You could do it." And so I started my job. I was only there 3 days, and my friend called me and said, "Okay, I've got clients for you." I'm like, "What?"
Whoa.
What? And she goes, "No, my friends, they want you to do what you do so well." So I quit my job, and I started working for her friends. I didn't get paid hardly anything for it.
Yeah.
And I was doing cleaning and organizing. I didn't realize that organizing was really a thing. I'd never heard of it before. I didn't even know what it was that I did. The cleaning part was really, it's just a lot of work, and it was hard, and it wasn't as fun, and I wanted to just do the organizing side of it. But I just did both because I just thought, this is what you do.
Yeah.
This is how I get paid doing it.
Yeah.
Wasn't making a lot of money. So my daughter, Chelsea, was working at a franchise conference one weekend for a place that she worked at. And she was leading one of the booths, and she says, "Mom, you've got to come. There's a business a franchise I want you to buy that you can do." I'm like, "Wait, what? What are you talking about?" She goes, "No, you need to make more money, and this is up your alley, and you can still be home when the kids get home, and this would be really good." So I purchased this business. It was a sports and fitness program for preschoolers. And it was fun at first, but I didn't love it.
Yeah.
But I'm a hard worker, and I worked hard, and it was bringing in, some extra money for our family, and it was good. But I'd wake up in the morning and just dread it. It's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And I just hated it.
Yeah.
But I did it for 6.5 years. And the business was finally really bringing in some good money for us. And I was on the internet and doing some research, and I came across NAPO, and it was a National Association of Professional Organizers. And I'm like, what? What's this? And it was 2015, kind of around the time Marie Kondo was getting big. And so I read her book, and I looked into this organization, and I joined it, and it's like, wow, this is like a thing.
Yeah.
This is what I do. This is what I love. This is what I want to do,
Yeah.
I was so excited. And I realized that it makes money,
Yeah.
that this can make really good money. So I told my husband, I want to sell the franchise, and I want to start organizing. And he's like, yeah, you've done that before. It doesn't bring in much money.
Right.
Is that really what you want to do? And I was like, I don't care. I want to do it. I want to go for it.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. He thought I was absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
He's like, what? We need the money, whatever, whatever makes you happy. So I sold my business for like nothing to one of my coaches, just to be done with it and get started. And I didn't have any clients. I reached out to the clients I used to work for that were only paying me like $15 an hour.
Oh, dang.
And they were thrilled. And I says, I only organize. I'm not doing the cleaning in. I'm only organizing. And they said, oh, come. They were so excited. But they were moms that didn't have a lot of money and couldn't afford what I had to offer. But I stuck with it. I go, I want to do this.
Right.
So I started working with other organizers who had more high-end jobs, and saw, wow, this is, they're doing so well. I can do this. I could do this. And I just stuck with it. And, few jobs. I did a little Instagram, not a lot, kind of in and out, and just, I don't know, kind of going slowly. But I knew this is what I wanted to do, and I was going to make it work.
Yeah.
And I reached out to some influencers here in Utah. At the time, we lived in Southern California. My kids went to school here. We had some family here, and a lot of influencers are here.
Yep, there are a lot. There are a lot of influencers.
And so I did some work for them, and in exchange, they did a shout out for me. And I got all these new followers. I'm like, wow, this is kind of great. And then I started getting a little bit more work in Utah, and I'd fly back and forth, or we'd drive back and forth. And I thought, you know what? I want to just go for it. I want a big team.
Yeah.
So it was just me, and I had a friend and a sister-in-law helping me. But I thought, I'm just going to go for it. So I told people on Instagram that I was hiring organizers. I had tons of people reach out to me. I picked 10 of my favorite people, and I had a meeting. I scheduled a training meeting with them, and at my sister-in-law's, because I did not even live in Utah yet.
Oh my gosh.
And I had shirts made. I hired a professional photographer. And I had these girls come, and I said, you're independent contractors. I'm not hiring you per se, but we're going to try you out, see how things go. And I advertised on Instagram that I was giving this killer deal for organizing because I have a newer team. I filled up 2 months worth of work.
Wow.
And had these girls. I tried all 10 of them. We came in different jobs and rotated them through, saw who did a great job, who didn't. They all ended up being pretty darn fabulous.
Good.
Most of them are still on my team today. But then I just need to say, the next day after I had this training, and I had these girls line up, and me in the middle, this is my team. I took a picture. I put it on my website, my team. I'd only known these girls a few hours.
Yeah.
Didn't even know how good they were.
Yeah.
But fake it till you make it.
Absolutely.
And it made it look like, wow, she's successful. Wow, look at her team. She has a team, you know. And I thought, you know what is interesting is I had done a vision board with me in the middle and girls on each side of me.
That's amazing.
I mean, it wasn't me. It was just a team that I put on my vision board. And it's like, I want that.
Yeah.
And I thought, how am I going to do it? I need to just do it.
Yeah.
I just asked people to do it. And,
Yeah.
and then it happened, you
Yeah.
know? And then I kept getting work. And then more influencers reached out to me. And every time I'd work for an influencer, again, I'd get more work. And I thought, I want high-end clients.
Yeah.
I love working for the moms, but it does, single moms or young moms that don't have the money, but I need to make money.
Absolutely.
And so my husband and I decided, because we were getting so much work done in Utah, we decided to move out here.
That's amazing.
And then my husband, at the time, we actually moved out here too, because he was offered early retirement, or we had to move to another state. He took the early retirement. He was looking for work, and he said, but I kept needing his help. And he's like, Tracy, I need to find a job. It's like, no, I want you to work for me. He's
just
like,
work for me.
I know. He's like, do you want me to find a job, or do you want me to do this? I go, I want you to do this. And so he just stopped looking for work and started helping with the back end of things.
That's awesome.
And we moved out here. We bought a van. We wrapped it. We're like, let's just go for it.
Yeah.
You just have to go for it.
Yeah.
And that's, people always ask, how did you get your team? It's like, I just told people to come over and we trained them.
Yeah. Yeah.
2 hours, and then they train on the job.
Yeah.
And I help them. It's great because they're independent contractors, I don't have to guarantee any amount of work for them.
Right.
So I just asked them to work for me when I needed them. And the organizers who did the best, I just asked more and more.
Right.
And I don't know, it just worked out.
Yeah.
And now it's just doing fabulous.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I get so excited. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night thinking about a job, and I get so excited I can't sleep.
Yeah. It's the best.
So awesome.
It's one of the best feelings in the entire world when you have something like that you get to look forward to,
Yes.
It's amazing. They always, what is that quote that they always say? Your life is really good when you don't want to go to sleep because reality is so good. Like,
Right.
It's incredible. But I love your point about just taking the chance, and just reaching out. Like, it really is just
have
as simple as reaching out and just doing it. But sometimes you put that little block in your brain that's like, I can't do it.
Right.
I want to know what was your shifting point for trying to figure out how much you were worth? Because I feel like that's a lot of problem.
That was
because
really
people,
hard.
Yeah, because people, it's like, well, what if I charge too much? What if people don't want to pay that much? What was your breaking point for that?
Oh, that was so hard. What helped me is I had an organization of organizers. So we would be talking, we're not allowed to talk what organizers make legally in our organization, but we'd go to dinner as friends.
Oh, there you go.
And, we would say, well, how much do you charge? What is it? And I was only charging such a small amount because I thought, well, people can't afford it. This is so much money.
Right.
And they said, Tracy, charging that amount doesn't just hurt you.
Yep.
It hurts everybody here.
Yep.
That is not what organizers charge.
Yep.
Organizers charge this much an hour because it's not just that time you're on the job. And I've learned that, especially as things have grown. It's not how much I'm making an hour while I'm there. I put so many hours, hundreds and hundreds of hours outside of being there, where I'm searching products, researching, planning, having consultations, shopping for my clients. I mean, it's just so much work, and to run a business. And so it's a high price because I work 24/7.
Right.
And I deserve every penny.
Absolutely.
And I think having those organizers give me that confidence in seeing what they charged.
Right.
And then when I worked with them, I really recommend, if there's something you have a passion for, go help somebody do it. Like you said, you interned at the radio station.
I did. Yep.
So it's like intern, if you love it, do it for other people.
Absolutely.
And then it builds your confidence. It built mine. It's like, I'm just as good as they are.
Yep.
And they're charging this much.
Yep.
And so that's how I kind of broke that.
Yeah.
I can only, it's so much money.
Right.
I'm worth it.
Yep.
I'm worth it.
Yep.
And I still don't charge as much as a lot of those ladies too. So I still feel like, well, I'm giving them a good deal. And then I feel good about it. I don't want to ever feel like I'm taking somebody.
Right.
I want to be worth it.
Absolutely.
I want people to say, you are worth every penny.
Yeah.
I want that. I don't want to just do it for money at all. I really want to help them and make sure it's worth it for my clients.
I love that. I love every single point that you just made. I love it so much. So Tell me a little bit about your Instagram. Is that something that you have had to research and look into, or do you have somebody that you kind of lean on to try and figure out posting stuff?
No, I just researched on my own. I listened to a podcast.
Love that.
Which I think is great. Instagram Marketing Secrets. Have you heard of him?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just
Good stuff.
I listened to him and I thought, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know you need to put spaces in between hashtags. Oh,
Yep.
I didn't know you could only do this. I mean, just all those little things.
Yeah.
I feel like every time I listen to him, it's like I learned something else. It's like, oh, I didn't know that. And a lot of it I don't do. A lot of it just kind of goes over my head. I don't understand the algorithm or what I need to do or
Right,
not need to
right.
do. And I mean, I don't even pay attention to that. I know the main thing is I need to be consistent.
Yep.
Whatever you do, don't give up.
Yep.
I had a team. That was my brothers that at the beginning too. Another good point, something that
Yeah.
if you really want to do it, you need to be surrounded by people who tell you you can do it.
Yes, absolutely.
If you have people say, oh, yeah, well, I don't know, you're really taking a chance.
Yep.
You're going to be lose your confidence.
Absolutely.
But I had my three brothers that were, we would talk to each other on the way to work and stuff. We had a back and forth text thread and our Voxer, it was voice. And they'd say, Tracy, just go for it and don't give up. And at first I did a few YouTube videos and it's like, oh, I don't have that many followers. And
Yeah.
they go, no, you've got to stick with it. The only people who succeed are the ones who stick with it.
Yep.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Just keep doing it. And so it's like I almost wanted to make my brothers proud of me, you know? It's like,
Right.
okay, I'm going to do it. You guys start telling me I'm going to do it.
Aw.
So having that encouraging team
Yeah.
really helps. So you want to surround yourself with people who are encouraging you, not
Absolutely.
discouraging you.
Yeah, absolutely.
well,
One of the things I absolutely love about like your Instagram, I can honestly say like I always look forward anytime it's up in my stories. I'm like, oh look, Organized with Tracy's on. I got to go through and I got to scroll through. I love how authentic and genuine you are with all of your stories and each of your things that you pop on. And it's like, it's not fake. It doesn't feel like it's forced. It doesn't feel like you're trying to hit points that need to be hit. It's just, look, guys, this is what's going on. And it's amazing to be able to see your form of art and your form of creativity just come to life. It's amazing. It's like one of my friends was talking about it. It's like magic, you know? There was something there that it was there, but it wasn't in that form. It wasn't in the final form that had to magically be put together. And that's something that I absolutely adore. So thank you for that.
Thank you for watching.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
You are so welcome.
Well, thank you. I do, I want to be authentic
Absolutely.
and real because you look at a lot of organizers posts and they have all these beautiful posts and they're staged, you know, even the color code or all the chips are blue and all of this is that. You want it to be beautiful, but I want to make it beautiful with what the client really has.
Yes.
What they really use. It's their food.
Yep.
You know?
Absolutely.
And it's possible.
Yeah.
And there's been a couple times now and then it's like, oh, this would look so much prettier if we had some more pasta in here. And I've had the girls run and buy a couple more pastas to put it so that
Yeah.
it flows. But again, it's pastas they're going to use.
Right.
It's real. It's not a staged
Yeah.
thing per se.
Yeah.
And it's just what we're doing. It's real life. And I think that's why I do have so much engagement is because it is real life.
Yep.
It's hard because right now I am doing a lot of high-end clients, and so it's not real life for a lot of people
Right.
who can't afford, you know, that kind of home. But the tips I share are things you can do
Anywhere.
in a small apartment,
Yeah.
a tiny space. You still need to do the same things.
Yep.
You get rid of packaging, you get containers, you label things. You just have to do it on a smaller scale.
Yeah.
We, as Americans, have way too much stuff. We have
Yes.
way more stuff than we need.
Yes.
We really don't need all those things. So if you're in a really tiny space, only have a little bit of stuff, you know?
Absolutely.
Get rid of it. Don't try and squeeze in what doesn't fit.
Yep.
Is the biggest key.
I love that you talk about really what it is bringing beauty into real life because it is, what do you have? Okay, how can you show off the things that you already have rather than bring in the things that you don't necessarily need? Because like you said, as Americans, we have a lot of things that we just don't need. And so being able to bring in the beauty and the light and being able to shed light and appreciation on the things that we have, I think is beautiful.
Well, it's fun. And it's not just making it pretty either.
Yeah.
It's making things more functional.
Absolutely.
What we do is function even comes before beauty.
Yeah.
It has to be functional. It has to be what works for you.
Yeah.
So we've done beautiful spaces, and I've shared it on Instagram where they've said, this is gorgeous, but it's not working for my kids. The glass is too low or the snacks are too high. And we go in and we just switch it around.
Yeah.
And it may not be as pretty as it was before, but now it's functional, and that is really the most important. But it's still beautiful. I mean, we really try to make sure all of our spaces are beautiful as well.
I think it definitely helps having almost a third party be able to come in and see just with a different set of eyes too, because when you see those things every single day, obviously you get kind of like eye fatigue with it a little bit. But the fact that you can come in and then you can appreciate almost the energy that each item has as well and be able to put it on display is fascinating. I love that. That's such a gift.
And it's not just me, it's my team. And that's what you asked if I ever got overwhelmed. And I don't, because I have a team as well. So it's lots of our eyes.
Absolutely.
And so we will be working on a project and get stuck, all of us at different times. We're like, this isn't working. Guys, come over, help me.
Yeah.
And more eyes come over. Oh, maybe if you moved that there and put the baskets there, it'd be more balanced. It's like, so much better.
Yeah.
So much better.
Yeah.
So we help each other.
Yeah.
That's why support with anything you do.
So important.
And anything you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
What has been like your biggest struggle in the pursuit of this as a career, all in all?
The business end of it.
Yeah.
Keeping track of product and how much should we buy? How much should we have on hand? How much money should we put on this? And, quit figuring out QuickBooks.
Yep.
I've learned, and I hear on all the podcasts and all the books I read, it's so important to have other people do the things that you're not good at as soon as you can afford to do it.
Yep.
You don't want to go in debt. So it's that balance, there's that balance. But as soon as I could afford a bookkeeper to help us with our accounting, it was like life-changing. Best money I ever spent. The hours my husband and I spent at the end of the year trying to keep track of everything and get it ready for taxes was a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not something that we are good at. And so hiring somebody who is life-changing.
Yeah.
So that part is hard.
Yeah.
And it's hard. I have a lot of followers and I have a lot of engagement because I spend like 2 hours after it. I don't do it every night, but I try to at least 4 times a week post our jobs, and it's a big process.
Yeah.
So it takes me a couple hours to go through and do that on Instagram because, as you know, with Instagram, the more things you add to each frame, like location or time or the little emojis, all those things, Instagram rewards you and shows your Instagram to more people. So on every frame, I'm trying to write and do a little something, put a little emoji. And when I have 50 frames, that takes forever. So,
it does.
So I have to really dedicate that time. After a long day at work, I come home and usually start it at like 11 and finish at 1 in the morning. And then I have a job the next day. So you have to put the work in. I've learned too. You can't just say, well, I love it and I'm just going to do it and be casual about it. You really need to go all in and be willing to put the hours in to do it.
Yeah. And you'll see the response because of that.
Right.
And it's amazing because, it's not simple. It's hard. Like you said, it is hard. It is difficult to go through and do it.
And you have to get up in the morning, but you're like, well,
it's got to get done. Yeah. It still has to get done, and somebody's got to do it. And sometimes it's just got to be you. So I want to go back to you talking about surrounding yourself with people that are supportive. How hard has it been, and have you had any situations where you've had to cut people out because they haven't been supportive? And what has that looked like in your own life? Have you run into that yet? I hope you never do. I mean, really.
I don't think that I do.
Good.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like people are all
That's good.
pretty supportive. I know my husband was more leery at the beginning. I think
Yeah.
he thought, what are you doing? And I thought, oh, I don't know. So I guess a little bit of
A
that.
little bit of hesitation on
a
that
little
side. Yeah.
hesitation. So, but now, of course, he's very supportive.
Of course. Yeah.
Because it's making us money
Yeah.
and it's fun working as a team. It's nice to have, your husband part of your team. And
Absolutely.
we just do it all together, and
Yeah.
we really enjoy it. So
Sometimes that hesitation comes from a place of genuine concern also,
Right.
But it is hard. It is hard to have to deal with sometimes those kinds of things that do come up. Because I know I've had friends that's been their situation, is that their significant other has said, no, you can't do that. And so then they stop. But then you always sit back years down the road and you wonder, well, what would have happened if I actually would have pushed through, and what would have
Right.
happened if I would have pursued it? So
Right. And it takes time.
it does.
And I know when I was first starting, I thought I'd have a job here, and then a couple weeks later, another job there.
Yep.
And I'm just like, how is this ever going to make money?
Yeah.
And I watched Alejandra TV, whatever she was an organizer. Have you heard of her?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I was watching hers, and she sent an email. I hate junk emails, but I
Yep.
happened to open this one, and she said how she had been doing this for 6 years
Yep.
before she got successful, and that she even she went into a deep depression, and I think she was even hospitalized because she was so depressed and overwhelmed. She wanted this to work.
Right.
And then she got huge.
Yep.
And she says, I just had to stick with it.
Yep.
And listening to that, so I think hearing other people's stories really
Yep.
helps. That helped me. I thought, you know what? She stuck with it, and in 6 years she was successful. If it takes me 6 years, it'll take me 6 years,
Yeah.
but I'm going to do it.
Absolutely.
And I did. And so it did take me it took me a few years
Yeah.
to get where I'm at now.
Yeah.
But it's a good place, and I hope to keep growing.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. You think about time and you think, oh my gosh, 6 years is so long. But in reality, I mean, we're going to live to be like, luckily, if we have the opportunity to 80, 90 years old, So over the course of your life, you're really going to say that 6 years or 5 years or 2 years is too long? No.
Right. And there are people who just grow super fast.
Oh, yeah.
But you can't look at that and think, well, I'm a failure because
Yep.
it worked for them. It
It's
didn't
an
work for
anomaly.
me. You just don't know.
Yep.
But if you keep plugging and you really want it and you're consistent, it's going to happen. You just
Absolutely.
have to know. I don't care how long it's going to take.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with it
Yeah.
until it works.
Tracy, what is one piece of advice you would give to somebody that is thinking about maybe jumping into something that they're passionate about?
To do it.
Yeah.
To do the research, to do the work and do it. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to do it and quit your job and say, God, I hope this works for me.
Right.
You have to work hard.
Yep.
You have to. And just be willing to work hard.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to work hard and not get discouraged and to keep going.
Yeah.
To keep going. And all this, and read good books.
Yes.
Listen to good podcasts. I don't read books. I listen to books.
I do
I
too.
don't
It's
read.
fine.
But listen to good books.
Yeah.
And that's when I was first starting out too. I would have my brothers that I'd chat with, and I'd listen to these books and these podcasts that just got me so excited and motivated. And you need that. You have to have that good, positive, information just feeding. You have to feed
Yep.
off of it.
Absolutely.
And it will keep you going.
What are some of the books that you've listened to that have been really inspirational for you?
Okay, I knew you were going to ask that. And I'm so bad at
Oh,
remembering.
it's fine. I get that. I'm the same way. I'm like, oh, I read this one and it was really good, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah. I know. I should open my phone and give you my list. And I've been horrible for the last year or so. I have 2 years even. I've just been more listening to
Yeah.
podcasts. I've gotten
Yeah.
into so much podcasts.
Well, but it's
that
been
I
so nice. Podcasting is incredible.
Right. But the E-Myth is great. And 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yep.
Fabulous. Listen to that a few times. Darren Hardy's books are great. There's just so many that if
Yeah.
you go online and search, I had my teen brothers who are good at them. They were just sending these books, and things to me to listen to. But if you look it up online, highly motivational books,
Yeah.
bestseller books, they're all great. And a lot of them say the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
But
But
you
it's just
have
delivered
to-
differently.
It's
And-
delivered differently, and it keeps you motivated.
Yep.
And even if you've heard it, it's like, yeah, I need to do that.
Yep.
It's good to hear it over and over again.
Exactly. It's nice to have that refresher.
Right.
A little bit.
Right.
I love that. Tracy, where can people find you social media wise?
Organize with Tracy. My business is Organize Simply. I wish that was also my Instagram.
Yeah.
But somebody already has that.
Oh, rude.
I know. And they're not on. I've begged. I've offered to give them millions of dollars if they would just let me have it. But I don't think she's on anymore.
Yeah.
So she has like
Dang
6
it.
pictures, and it's just sitting there. And
You're like, please, can I have that?
please, can I have
Please.
that? Please. But so it's Organize with Tracy. My website is organizesimply.com.
Perfect.
it.
Awesome.
Organize simply.
And then how do people reach out to you if they want to do some sort of a consultation or get something set up?
They can just go through my website,
Cool.
email me.
Awesome.
They can DM me, but the chances of them
Very
seeing
slim.
it, I have one of my organizers, Maddie, who does a fabulous job at answering the things she can answer
Mm-hmm.
as far as product and stuff people are looking for, because she works for me. She knows what we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just impossible to keep up with
Yeah.
all the DMs. So better to email me through my website. Is
Absolutely.
Great.
Cool.
So-
Awesome. Tracy, anything else that you would like to add?
No.
Cool. All right.
No.
Well, thank you.
I think this is really fun.
It was really, really
So-
fun. So thank you for letting me come into your house. It is beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you.
And then I'm just going to end it there.
Whenever you follow your passion and you step outside of that fear box, things will shift and grow for you. Believe in yourself enough to know that you can do it.